Light and peace, brothers and sisters. Topic of discussion today is hellfire angels. One of the primary functions of some Ethereans when they come down to the atmosphere area, uh, they have a position where they're here to really lift up angels who are in prison. And amazingly, OAPC decoded these angels as in which you see in the book of Agapeti in a minute, is that they were decoded as having a duty called DAS. They tie to them DAS, and they have this amazing ability to take knobs out of hellfire and angels who are in hellfire. Uh, of course, for those who don't know, hellfire is not a permanent place, but is considered to be a place of torment. And we've had gods, not true gods now, fake gods, gods who use it to torment angels who are disobedient to them. Now, one important thing also is that in our world, if let's say, for example, a human kills somebody, so whoever you killed can not only can actually will be waiting for you in heaven to die. And what those angels do while they're waiting for the human who kill them is they actually drag that human into prison, which is called hell. So I'm going to go to OAPC, share, the verses that actually show clearly this amazing angels called hellfire angels. Okay, and their duty is to lift up, remove angels out of the prison in heaven, which is called hell. Um, And when I was watching a video this afternoon on YouTube, I saw that and I was like, this is another amazing, uh, this is another amazing one. I was like, a lot of people don't know about this, but while the YouTube video was showing something of importance, it don't mean that they also have angels whose duty primarily is to do this, and which a lot of people didn't know. So OAPC captures this information, and I'm sharing it today with people. It's amazing how OAPC do go in full details of stuff sometimes. Topic of discussion today, again, like I said, is Hellfire Angels, and I am going to be coming from the book of Fragapeti, okay? Uh, and Book of Fragapeti. This is an amazing Ethereal angel as usual. So Book of Fragapeti, chapter 11, verses 8 to 22. Um, Verse 18. On the second day, 1,000,000 Ethereans with rods of water and rods of fire came from Monru in answer to Fragapeti's commandment. And when they arrived before him and had saluted in the sign of Jehovah his name, he said to them, Behold, I have established one signal center in hell. It will require 1,000 more centers before we have broken them up and delivered them. The marshal shall select from the among you 10,000 of rank of Das. You see that? So yeah, OAPC is clarifying that this experienced angels who are considered hellfire angels, their rank are Das. DAS, to remain in this center and complete the work I have laid out. Verse 19. So the marshals selected 10,000 from Ethereans of the rank of DAS. Now the DAS are those who have attained the power with rod. You see that? With water. Interesting. So this Etherean angel known as DAS, who are considered hellfire angels, have actually this is interesting. Because if you look at if you listen to this verse carefully, it says, so the marshals selected 10,000 from the Ethereans of the rank of DAS. Now, these DAS are those who have attained the power of rod with water and the rod with fire. No different like in our world where you have the fire brigade, the fire marshals, and the fire truck when they want to go put off the fire when the house is on fire. You do see the fire truck, they're holding a hose. What Oahs is saying here, right here, is that these angels here, these angels right here, this is interesting that these angels here, over here, they hold their hands. They're actually saying that they've attained the power of rod. So with water, not with the hand, like the ranks above. This go, wait. So there are two instances here. There are two special hellfire angels here, right? One, they have attained the power of rod with power, and then they have another angel above them who have actually attained the rank of not even holding rod with fire in hand. This is amazing. Let me continue. They go among the denizens of Signal Center in hell with two rods, casting water with one and fire with the other. And then the host of spirits in darkness run for them like cattle for sword. And the dies through discover and sought them for the lowest spirit to go for the rods with water, the highest for the rods of fire, because the lowest spirit dread the light, because the highest desire to be rescued from the lowest. Verse 20. On the second day, therefore, the dust began to work with many millions with baptized with water, but with the fire only with 1 million. The later were taken beyond the walls of fire and colonized, clothed, and fed, and gained their space over them. You see the beautiful thing about the Creator's plan? So you see here that Ethereans come down from Etheria and come down, and actually they what they do here is that they actually come help the spirits, the angels who are in torment in hellfire. So they in prison. So for those of you who don't know, again, hellfire is considered a prison in heaven. Just like in our world, so I live in New York City, in New York. So the jails and sorry, the prisons in New York, right? Uh they're barricaded with cement. So each room is barricaded with cement. So there's a block of cement blocking one prisoner from the other wall. So they use consider rooms. So in L, what they use to barricade or create a perimeter or a fence from one end to another is actually walls of fire. This is what right here. This is beautiful. And Oapsi is very clear when he's describing stuff, right? So right here it says the later were taken beyond the walls of fire and colonized, clothing and fire and guarded place over them. You see that? This is beautiful in preparation for nursery. And they take these tormented angels to nurseries, hospitals, schools factories, such other education as it belonged to the lowest heaven. Beautiful. Verse 21. On the third day, the dads went through the same labor again. Again, many millions were baptized with water, only 2 million with fire. The later were now taken beyond the walls of fire, cutting lies in the same manner, and those of the previous day. On verse 22. Such then is the labor of those in hell, baptizing, selecting, and it continues until the people were taken beyond the walls. The last taking her, therefore the lowest grade. The first taken are the highest grade. But the last were usually so in knowledge, ambition that they cannot even move by themselves. Wow, this is deep. And are placed in nostrils and auspices to be cleansed from the foulness and to be healed of their infirmities. This is wonderful. Um, you clearly see that OAHSPE gives clarity to what uh, hellfire is, right? And if you have not clearly read the OAHPSE, I encourage you strongly to go watch it, to go read it. You know, you could download it on websites. You could even get it from Amazon. You could get it from eBay. It's an amazing book. It doesn't sugarcoat. OAPSI gives you the information raw, and all you have to do is just understand it right away. You don't have to ask too much questions. You don't need the Holy Spirit to interpret it to you, right? And OAPSI decoded who are Holy Spirits, that they are different from Holy Ghost. You see that? The more you read OAPSI, the more you keep on understanding a lot of stuff. And the thing about these hellfire angels is that OAPSI clearly says that the title that was given to them, right, was theirs, and they don't need rod that produces water. And that's another thing about the OAPSI. It gives you two titles. It says, I'm sorry, it gave you two functions of these angels. That one, one of the guys do not need blood, or one, to produce water and fire, and the other ones they need it and they can just quench the hell fire. This is amazing. And another thing I learned in this book of First chapter 11, verses 18 to 22, is that there's also an amazing Ethereum title, Ethereum function called marshals, right? And these Ethereum marshals should not be confused by the atmospheric marshals. Because remember, in Ethereum, you have marshals, and also in the atmospheric world, which is the world, the first, second, and third heaven, they also have atmospheric marshals. So we learn from the book of First chapter 11, verses 18 to 22, that they do have another rank. They have rank of they have ranks called marshals. This is amazing, beautiful. You see that? Now, like popular belief, hellfire is a permanent place for sinners, but this teaching is falsehood. This teaching is false. That's a lie. That's a setup by the fallen angels, right? You see? Now, one thing to address is that we know that the fallen angels are the one that created the hell, and they devote an heavenly place for it called a place of torment. So down the line, people started getting a misconception about what hellfire is. So without sugarcoating, what hellfire actually is just a state, it's a prison where they put tormented angels, evil spirits, disobedient angels who disobeyed uh the fallen angels, like falsehood gods who, like the Christian God, for example, right? The Buddha God, right? Baal, those gods, Osiris, right? And as a matter of fact, um, angels who took up the heavenly throne, who took up the mantle of God, and then those angels that fought against them or disobeyed and said, "No, we're not gonna follow you." So those angels now they go to this place of torment. right? And it's not a permanent place. And you've got to read the OAPS in the entire totality to get a proper understanding of it. Light and peace, brothers and sisters. Today's topic was just to decode a title called Dads. These fantastic angels called Dads. And I gave them the title Hellfire Angels because they're, 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 they produce what they call solution to hellfires, right? So they help angels who are in the place of torment, and that's why they are called hellfire angels. But not to be confused that they're there permanently. They're only there. Their duty is to be there. Just like, for example, right? Um, the doctors in heaven, right? They're angels, but their title is doctors. But they have doctors in heaven. You gotta read the Waps. It's an amazing book. It tells you a lot of stuff. And as a matter of fact, in the book of Agape, chapter 11, verse 18 to 22, in there, you clearly see in verse 21 where it clearly says that, I'm sorry, verse 20. It says, on the second day, therefore, the dust began work, and many millions were baptized with water, but with fire, with only 1 million. The later were taken beyond the walls of fire, and colonized, clothed, fed, guardian place over them in the preparation for the nurseries, hospitals, schools, factories, such other education as they belong to. You see that? So nurseries, hospitals, who are those? Those are doctors. They're doctors, they're angels who are doctors, right? Now, if you've not watched my video about second resurrection education, you should subscribe to my YouTube video and search on my YouTube channels. You clearly see where I discuss second resurrection uh, educational system, the educational system in heaven. And in there, it decodes how you got doctors and angels like me, for example. When I die and when I become an angel in heaven, I'm going to go through the first and second resurrection educational system. In there, I'm going to be a doctor. It clearly stated that I'm going to be a doctor for 50 years. Now, this also will be a duty that I will be doing, humans will be doing when they get drafted to Ethereum. There will be a hellfire angel, and the title will be theirs. Light and peace, brothers and sisters. Bye bye now.